I threw the glass. It hit the wall. It broke into many pieces. My hands were shaking. My heart was beating fast. I stood in the kitchen alone. My phone was on the table. I didn't want to look at it again. I didn't want to read his message again. But my eyes went back to the screen. I miss you, Claire. That's what he wrote. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. But I did nothing. I just stood there, still and quiet. Mark. That name still made me feel something. Not love. Not anymore. But something cold. Something hard. I walked to the sink and turned on the water. I washed my face. The water was cold, but I needed it. I needed to wake up. I needed to remember who I was before him. Mark was not my first boyfriend, but he was the first man I loved with all my heart, and he was the first to break it. I met him at a friend's house. It was a small party. I wore a yellow dress. I felt happy that day. I did not know my life would change that night. He looked at me and smiled. "Hi, I'm Mark," he said. His voice was soft. His eyes were dark brown. He asked me my name. I told him. We started to talk. It was easy. It felt nice. He laughed at my jokes. I laughed at his. After the party, he asked for my number. I gave it to him. I felt shy but excited. I smiled all the way home. The next day, he sent me a message. Then he called. We talked for hours. I sat on my bed with my legs crossed and listened to his voice. It felt warm. After 1 week, we met for coffee, then dinner, then lunch. We started seeing each other every week, then every day. Mark was sweet at first. He opened doors. He brought me small gifts. He sent me good morning texts. He said he liked my smile. He said I was different. After 3 months, he asked, "Will you be my girlfriend?" I said yes. We were happy. Or so I thought. He made me feel special. I stopped going out with friends. I stopped doing things alone. I always wanted to be with him. I gave him all my time. I gave him my heart. But after 6 months, he changed. He came late. He forgot small things. He looked at his phone a lot when we were together. He said he was tired. He said work was hard. I wanted to help him. I cooked for him. I washed his shirts. I even gave him money when he said he needed it. I didn't ask questions. I wanted to be a good girlfriend. But one night something happened. I was at his place. He went to take a shower. His phone was on the bed. A message came. I didn't want to look, but it flashed again. Then again. I picked it up. The name said, Sophie. I opened the message. I love you. When can I see you again? My hands turned cold. I read it twice. I wanted it to be a joke, but it was not. I sat on the bed and waited. My body felt weak. He came out with a towel around his waist. He smiled. But then he saw my face. "What's wrong?" he asked. I showed him the phone. He looked at it, then at me. His smile was gone. "It's not what you think," he said. "Who is she?" I asked. My voice was shaking. "She's just a friend," he said. "It's not serious." I got up. I picked up my bag. I walked to the door. "Claire, wait," he said. I turned to him. "Don't lie to me," I said. "Don't say it's nothing when it's something." He walked to me. "Please, just talk to me." I left. I didn't even put on my shoes. I walked out of his house with bare feet. That night I cried. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I lay on the bed with my eyes open. He sent me many messages. He called. I didn't answer. After 2 days, I replied, "I need time." He said he was sorry. He said it was a mistake. He said it would never happen again. After 1 week, I met him. He looked tired. He said all the right words. He said he missed me. He said he would change. He held my hand and cried. I said yes. I gave him another chance. But I should not have. The second time, he was careful. He hid things better. He never left his phone alone. He didn't talk much about his day. One evening, he told me he had to work late. I believed him, but I went to a cafe that night. I wanted to sit and read, and there he was, with Sophie. They sat close. She laughed. He touched her hand. I felt sick. I left before they saw me. I walked fast. Then I ran. That night I blocked his number. I deleted all our photos. I cried again, but only once. Then I stopped. I was tired of crying for him. I didn't tell anyone for a long time. I just worked. I cleaned my home. I cooked for myself. I took walks alone. I looked at the sky. I listened to music. Rachel, my best friend, came to see me one weekend. "You look thin," she said, "and too quiet." "I'm fine," I said. She didn't believe me. "Talk to me," she said. I told her everything. I told her about Sophie, about the lies, about the pain. She didn't say much. She just hugged me. "You are not the same girl," she said. "You're stronger now." I smiled, just a little. I didn't need Mark. I didn't need his texts. I didn't need his sorry words. But then, today, he sent a message. "I miss you, Claire." That's why I threw the glass. Because he still thinks I'm the same girl. But I'm not. I am not loving him again. Before I share the rest of my story, I need to know, where are you listening from? Knowing someone hears me, understands me, gives me strength. The next morning, I opened my eyes and looked at the ceiling. It was quiet. I stayed in bed for a few minutes. Then I sat up and looked at my phone. There were no new messages. Just the old one from Mark. "I miss you, Claire." I stared at it for a moment. Then I deleted it. I didn't want his words in my phone. I didn't want them in my head. I got up and made some tea. I sat by the window and looked outside. The street was quiet. A few cars passed. A woman walked her dog. I took a deep breath. I felt tired, but I also felt calm. Last night was not easy, but I was proud of myself. I didn't reply. I didn't call him. I didn't cry. After breakfast, I put on my shoes and went outside. The air was cold, but the sun was bright. I walked slowly to the park. I needed to move. I needed to clear my head. I passed the small store on the corner. I passed the cafe where Mark and I used to go. I didn't stop. I didn't look inside. At the park, I sat on a wooden bench near the trees. The leaves were yellow and red. It was a nice day. I watched people walk by. Some had coffee in their hands. Some pushed baby strollers. Some laughed and talked. I sat there, quiet. I didn't check my phone. I just looked at the world around me. I stayed there for a while. Then I walked home. I passed a group of children playing with a ball. One of them laughed very loudly. That sound made me smile. It was simple and real. Not like Mark's words. Not like his fake promises. I didn't need big words. I just needed truth and peace. When I got home, I cleaned the kitchen. I wiped the table and washed the dishes. I vacuumed the floor. I opened the windows to let in fresh air. My body moved fast, but my mind was slow. I kept thinking about the past, about the lies, about the pain. I didn't want to go back there. Later that day, I sat on the floor with a glass of water. The house was quiet again. I looked at the small plant near the window. It had 2 new green leaves. That made me smile again. Life moves on, even when we feel stuck. Then I heard a knock at the door. My heart jumped. I stood up slowly. I walked to the door. I opened it just a little. It was him. Mark stood there, holding his phone. He looked tired. His eyes looked sad. He said, "Hi." I didn't speak. He said, "Can we talk? Just 5 minutes." I opened the door a little more, but I did not smile. I did not step back. I walked outside and closed the door behind me. We stood on the small step in front of my house. He looked at me like I was someone far away. "I miss you," he said. "I think about you every day." I didn't say anything. I just looked at him. "I made a mistake," he said. "I was stupid, but I want to make things right." I crossed my arms. "You said that before," I said. "After the first lie. After the second one, too." He looked down at the ground. "I know," he said. "But I changed. I don't talk to anyone else now. I want you." I looked at him. He still said the same words, but they didn't feel the same. They felt empty now. "I don't want this again," I said. "I don't want to cry at night. I don't want to wait for your reply. I don't want to feel small. He stepped a little closer. I moved one step back. I said I changed, he said. No, I said. I changed. I am not the same Claire anymore. Mark was quiet. He looked like he wanted to cry. He looked like he didn't understand. I gave you my heart, I said. You broke it. Twice. I'm not giving it to you again. He looked at me. So that's it? He asked. Yes, I said. That's it. He nodded slowly. Then he turned and walked away. I stood there for a moment. Then I went inside. I closed the door. I leaned against it. My hands were cold. My eyes were dry. I didn't cry. Not this time. I made tea again and sat on the couch. I looked around my small living room. Everything was quiet, but I didn't feel alone. I felt free. That night, I called Rachel. He came to my door. I said, "What?" she asked. "Are you okay?" "Yes," I said. He talked. I listened, but I said no. Rachel was quiet. Then she said, "Good. I'm really proud of you." "Thanks," I said. The next morning, I put on my favorite blue sweater. I went to work. I smiled at the bus driver. I bought a sandwich for lunch. I said hello to my coworker. I even made a small joke at the office. It was a normal day, but it felt good. At lunch, I sat outside. The sky was clear. I watched people walk past. I looked at the trees. I felt calm. Mark didn't message me again. He didn't call. He didn't come back. And that was good, because I didn't want him back. Not even a little. I didn't need to say it again, but I did in my heart. I'm not loving him again. A few weeks passed. Mark didn't call me again. He didn't send a message. He didn't come to my door. And I didn't wait. I didn't check my phone at night. I didn't look out the window. I didn't think about him every hour. Life felt simple again. Quiet, but not lonely. I started walking more. Every morning before work, I walked to the park near my street. The air was fresh. The birds were loud. I saw the same people every day. A man with a red cap who walked fast. A woman with 2 small dogs. A boy on a bicycle. I liked seeing them. They didn't know my name, but they felt familiar. At work, I stayed busy. I smiled more. I talked to people again. I didn't try to hide my feelings. I didn't pretend to be happy. But I was better, and they saw that. One Friday after work, Rachel called me. "Let's go out," she said. "Just food and talking." I said yes. We met at a small place with simple food. We sat near the window and shared a big plate of fries. Rachel talked about her job. I told her about my walk in the park. We laughed. It felt easy. Then Rachel looked at me and smiled. "What?" I asked. "You look like yourself again," she said. I smiled too. Later that night, I walked home alone. The air was cold, but I liked it. I looked at the stars. I thought about everything, not just Mark. I thought about my life, what I wanted, what I didn't want. At home, I made tea and sat in bed. I didn't turn on the TV. I just sat in the quiet and drank slowly. I felt proud. I didn't go back. I didn't fall again. I chose peace. One Saturday, I saw someone new in the park. He was tall and wore glasses. He sat on the same bench every morning. He had a book in his hand but didn't read much. He looked around a lot, like me. After a few days, we nodded at each other. Then we started saying, "Good morning." One day he smiled and said, "Cold today, isn't it?" "Yes," I said. "But the sun helps." He laughed a little. "True." We talked for a few minutes. His name was James. He worked in a library. He liked quiet places, long walks, and simple food. He didn't talk fast. He didn't ask too many questions. He was calm, easy to be near. We talked more the next day, then the next. We never stayed long, just a few minutes, but it felt nice. He never asked for my number. He never asked to meet after the park. I liked that. It felt safe. One morning he said, "I won't be here tomorrow. I have to visit my sister." "Oh," I said. "I'll miss our morning talks." He smiled. "Me too." That was all. He waved and walked away. I watched him go. I didn't feel sad. I felt something new. Light, like a soft wind. The next week he came back. He waved from far away. I waved back. Then we talked about books, music, and favorite meals. Nothing big, nothing deep, but still warm. One day he asked, "Can I walk with you a bit?" "Yes," I said. We walked slowly under the trees. The path was clean. Leaves moved under our feet. I told him I used to come here with someone, but now I come alone. He didn't ask more. He just said, "I like it better alone too." After that, we walked together often. We didn't meet anywhere else. Just the park. Just the path. It was enough. One morning, after a long walk, he looked at me and said, "You smile more now." I looked at him. "I feel better now." He didn't ask why. He just said, "That's good." I liked that. He didn't need my story to be kind. He just liked my smile. That was enough. One evening, Rachel and I sat in my living room. I told her about James. "So he's not your boyfriend?" she asked. "No," I said. "He's my walking friend." She smiled. "You like him?" "Yes, but I don't want anything right now." "Good," she said. "Take your time." "I'm not scared of love," I said. "I'm just careful now." She nodded. That's called growing. That night, I thought about her words. I didn't cry. I didn't miss the past. I didn't want the old life. I just felt full. Not full of someone else, just full of me. I still thought about Mark sometimes, but not with pain. I thought about him like a closed book on a high shelf. It was there, but I didn't need to open it again. Weeks passed, then months. My hair grew longer. The trees turned green. I saw more families in the park, more dogs, more life. James still came to walk. Sometimes he brought me coffee. Sometimes I brought him a small sandwich. We never planned it. We just met. It was easy. One day he asked, "Do you ever feel ready to start again?" "Sometimes," I said, "but not yet." He smiled. "That's okay." And it was. Because this time, I was choosing myself first. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming soon.